Oh, I already have introduced myself, but I will do it again. My name is Antônio Balloni. I belong to the University of Campinas, in Brazil, working in the Institute of Economy in the department Neit. I'm going to present for you a proposal for the development of an intuition ecosystem model validation for enhancing general decision making. Okay. I will show a couple of slides. First, this data, information, knowledge, and wisdom. Oh, let's see, sorry. I'm not able to record it. Okay. I'm sorry, I would like to record myself, but not able to record it. Okay, data, information, knowledge, and wisdom. These hierarchical elements were first proposed by Balloni in 1987. Then in 1989, Coffey was the first to present a model, a hierarchical model for these elements. You can see from data to wisdom. This is a model. Targos in 1990 called these cognitive units, information, data, knowledge, and wisdom, as cognitive units. And then later, Whitermar in 15, later also, sorry, it is important because this triggered my next work I'm going to present, okay? He classified in his classified PhD thesis, he described cognitive units as elements of cognition. Well, with this short introduction to data, information, knowledge, wisdom, I did a research in North Carolina with Professor Marian Feldman, and we work in a corollary proof, and we get to the conclusion that data, information, knowledge, and wisdom are intertwined. You can go from data to wisdom directly. You can go from data to information, or for information to wisdom. This is not invention, okay? It's corollary proven. You can go from knowledge to wisdom, of course, and you can also back from wisdom to knowledge, from wisdom to information, from knowledge to wisdom. So this is interdependent, intertwined, no hierarchical model. It is not more a hierarchical one. So I was wondering about this modules, evaluation of a paper we published, evaluation of a project management based on a new wisdom framework. And I would like to work on intuition. What I see, after studying, I get to conclusion, this original framework could be our intuition ecosystem model. You do not need to read this, okay? There is no need for you to read this. In this, what is the goal here? You look at your data in your research or in your business, and you do questions regarding this data. The same for information, your research and for business, and you do questions for this information. The same for knowledge and the same for wisdom. It's a little more difficult to do questions. When you answer, you or someone answer this question, based on this answer, you can have an intuition to the best decision making. This is about I'm going to talk here, how to develop these questions for each cognitive unit, data, information, knowledge, wisdom. First, I do not know my English is very rusty, long time without speaking. And let's see what I may offer for you in regarding this intuition ecosystem model. So this figure represents a proposal for an intuition ecosystem model. It is already there, the model. So this opinion paper, as you can see, the opinion paper, we published the preprint, but now I have a very improved version that I will submit it by tomorrow. We propose the development of the validation process for this intuition model, okay? This is an innovative proposal seeking to enhance intuition in general decision-making. And it's important to say that no one haven't even supposed about developing a validation process for the model present in this figure. Considerations. The development of a validation process, I mean, to find out a set of questions for each cognitive unity presented in this model is a challenging and interdisciplinary issue involving knowledge about human beings' cognitions, pattern recognitions, cognitive model, and also decision, and of course, decision making. Several clues or hints to construct the validation model. This is as a set of questioning for this model, okay, are present in the paper. So as I suppose you are interested in the issue of intuition, so you are invited to work in this validation process and to use intuition in your decision making. The model is there already. So this paper guides you in developing the validation process for the model to find out the set of questions regarding each cognitive unity from this figure. Okay, these are the cognitive units. Once you have the questions, this question must be present to testers, from academics to business. This tester will apply the question according to their needs and interests. An integrated analysis of the answer to the set of questionings will guide the intuition decision making someone is looking for. So notice now we believe that the tester, academics, business, and entrepreneurs implemented this set of questions for each of this cognitive unity should be looking for the best decision making. Therefore, the tester should comply to the following mindset. First, the validation process works better if the decision making is challenging to find. I'm not going to a process like this to something that's easy. You already almost know by looking, okay? And the tester, second, the tester should be not in blue sky behavior or easy decision making. Otherwise, the validation process would not, let's say, answer the true core of the issue. According to Thomas Manderstrom, a PhD thesis in 2022, last month, he quote, open quote, he wrote, in uncertain situations, we become more confused in our choice, but this also leads us to exploration, which helps us to adapt to a new environment. Close quote. So an example of a new environment could be the implementation of the decision-making instrument, the set of questions for each cognitive unit. So, in short, as a brief remark, an ending remark, the creation of the set of questions or validation process for the model presented in this figure should come from two different approaches. The reference searchings and correlation analysis, we have to study, to read papers, to create the best set of questionings, self-creativity to construct the validation process based on your own life and CV experiences, plus idea extensions and participation from other fellows and researchers. Impact and perspective on find out the set of questioning for the cognitive model. The validation process for the intuition ecosystem model in this figure may be an instrument for societal transformation and sustainable development towards the political process. And missing information or disinformation, fake news has been the tone lately. So the validation process for this intuition ecosystem model may develop a new perspective on management decision-making approach, innovative collaboration opportunities, and interdisciplinary research. Therefore, again, I call you to work in this challenging of finding the validation process for this model in this figure, okay, and help to construct a better and more prosperous and adding value society. Well, the presentation is over. I will show for you some copy of slides. This is a reference, new reference that will be the final paper. I will upload next tomorrow maybe. And here, thank you and the best to all for watching. And finally, if I know your questions are welcome.
Yeah, I think we have time for a couple of questions. Thank you, Dr. Balloni. I wonder, is that model that you're discussing applicable to machine learning?
It's applicable.
Or does it
to anything you want, even in artificial intelligence. That's the goal of this first model. This is a wisdom framework. Someone has told me that they are working in software development to get on this kind of correlation. So the intuition model may also be, because if you have it, you have to, the core is to find the questions for the data from your knowledge. You want to learn, machine learn to answer for information. It means the same for data, for information, for knowledge, and finally wisdom. This is more difficult because you have to identify the wisdom in your system, in your enterprise, in your research. It is difficult. This is why this paper, okay, this paper was for this. So the question is, you have to find the question, looking at what you want, look at the definition for data, information, knowledge, and wisdom that is in the paper. I do not know if I answered your...
Yeah, no, it's interesting because you mentioned the need for intuition in your model, and I wonder how much of intuition also comes from emotion, and then that makes me wonder if it could be applied to machine learning or not. I mean, what is intuition? You know, is it kind of a feeling? Yeah, you get a feeling, right?
Intuition has a lot of definition. I am not going to present it for you, but in the paper we put your own definition, myself on and Professor Mario Feldman, our own definition of wisdom. I recommend it at this moment, because if you ask me to define data, information, knowledge, which is another presentation, okay? Each one is not, can I say this, wisdom, okay? Is ultimating human being decision making. Wisdom is that. Now, knowledge is the knowledge is you have in your mind, or you have reading somewhere, explicit or tacit. You can then have both. Intuition, wisdom also can have both. And information is something that has meaning, okay? And data has no meaning. 10 is data. 10 laps, 10 pencils is information. What you do with 10 pencils may be a knowledge. You can do good thing with 10 pencils, and the wisdom will help you to decide about. But it's talking here. Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you, Dr. Balloni. I think you need to stop share your screen, and then Dr. Shrestha and I can.
Okay, thank you, Professor Caterina. That's the advance.